There was once state-owned pubs and breweries in the UK. The project, often nicknamed the Carlisle Project, seen the government take over 300 pubs and licensed venues and breweries in Carlisle. The reason for this was Carlisle was close to the Gretna factory where they produced the propellant for the munitions in World War I, often nicknamed the Devil's Porridge. You all remember the famous saying, "We are fighting the Germans, the Austrians and drink." And so far I see the greatest of these deadly foes, drink. And when people were finishing shift, they were rushing back to get to the pub before it closed. And obviously this would have an effect the next day on their productivity. So the idea was, with it being state-owned, they reduced the alcohol content, they increased the price of the alcohol, and the landlords were effectively civil servants paid for by the government, so they had no real incentive to sell extra drink. Also, only simple signs like this, minimal advertising, were allowed outside the pub. And they also introduced things like food and games. And they also closed down a lot of the pubs as well. So the project started in 1916, primarily in Carlisle, but there was a few other locations. Like I say, the idea was to keep the munition workers sober. But after World War I, seeing how effective these pubs were, they carried on the scheme. Because the government was seeing that it was reducing drunkenness and people getting arrested for drunken behaviour. So it then went on to evolve into the new Model Inn, which went on to have things like a woman's only room and a first class and middle class and stuff like that. And this went on to influence the design of pubs across the country. But then the scheme was abolished by an Act of Parliament in 1971. And this was all the brainchild of Harry Redfern.